Our next tractor on the pit side that we'll see in the class, the first one, will be Cody Hageman, a hometown puller from Union Grove, driving his Oliver 1850 on the Iron Anchor. This class here, they weigh 9,500 pounds maximum weight. They can go a maximum 7 miles per hour. They also have a maximum of 3,000 RPM. And that is what they are going to add onto the sled right now. I'll give you a little insight on what goes on to even out these classes here as far as the rules-wise go. This is a 3,000 RPM maximum class, and that means these tractors turn no more than that. And it's monitored by an electronic system that's on the front of the sled, plugged into the tractor. That monitors a sensor that's on the tractor and measures the front balancer, how many revolutions per minute that engine is spinning. And at the end of the pass, the tech officials will look at the maximum RPM, and that will, if they're over to 3,000, that's a disqualification. They get down to the bottom of the order. This is going to be Ryan from Burlington, 1566 International. Beautiful, fresh paint on this one. That's his mark right there, folks, 2:55 and 54. That's going to do it there. 2:55.54 is the distance for Ryan Heimbach from Burlington. And a really nice farm tractor. A restoration job done on that one. In the Public Enemy, when the box is rolled out from underneath the cab, you can see 3 blocks of weight. 6,000 pounds of weight being transferred up onto the pan. This is Cody Hageman from Union Grove, Oliver 1850, going to get our class started. Good hand. How about it, Oliver people? It's your hometown puller, Cody. 296.99 is his distance. A nice effort down through the track there at 4.9 miles an hour in the 7 mile per hour speed limit class. First puller in the competition here, so he has that option of keeping it or turning it down. Over on the big tractor class, the heavy farm class, Brett Mason is out here from Salem, John Deere 4620, our first John Deere of the night. And Cody Hageman turns down the 296, and he says, I'd like to take another look at this track. The first one out here, the test puller, first one to see the conditions, has that only puller that'll get that chance to keep their hook or come back at the end, which he will do now, and wipe the 296.99 off the board. And we're going to see a lot of red in the heavy farm class, a lot of 66 Series Internationals, but there are a few other colors involved, like this one right here, 4620 John Deere. Will be our next tractor. The mark to beat, 273, is the leading distance. Keep an eye on that down on the board. right off the gate, had it in a little too big of a gear. It really pulled down the RPMs, made a lot of smoke, and never come back alive, and that's a tough break for him. He had the speed that he would have liked to seen, which is too fast, too big a gear. A speed limit of 9 miles an hour, and that'll result in a DQ of the 187 and 96 distance, and that's a tough deal right there, where a good-looking tractor, just a little too fast out here on the track tonight. And we'll see if this John Deere can work its way down the track in the lightweight farm class, 9,500-pound, 7-mile-per-hour class. If you're just coming on in, welcome into the grandstands here at the Racine County Fair Truck and Tractor Pull Night. And the action is hot and heavy here this evening. John Deere 4020 from Union Grove, Nolan Maurice is awaiting the green flag out here on the track. It's sport of truck and tractor pulling. If you go the farthest, you become the winner. We'll read off those results after each class here tonight. Thank you to County Line Hall, Earhart Farms, J. Wagner Services, Bauer Design and Construction, Performance Planning, County Line Contractors, Tom Fleisch Jr. Farms, Asphalt Contractors, and Josh Nevery Services for their Bull Night sponsor of the Racine County Fair. Look at those rear tires on the John Deere. Not a lot of air pressure in them. Getting those tires hooked up to the track and using all the torque and the power that 414's got in that 4020 John Deere. How about a hand, another hometown puller, Nolan Maurice. 2:56 and 17 is the distance, and that will set the mark to beat, the leading distance here in the class, as he is the first official distance we'll find on the board. 2:56 and 17, and we'll see how long that'll hold in a class of 23 tractors. 23 tractors in this class. Out of Union, Illinois, Randy Ballman is out here now, 1066 International. .253.74 for the tractor out of Illinois, the 1066 International. That'll be his number on the board. We got some corrections to make on the 9500 farm class. So you had a sled reset, and that's why we see in the 2:56 and 17 from Nolan Maurice, as they took around 50 feet or so off the distances on the iron anchor. And a lot of ways you can change the weight sled. Not all the tractors will go the same distance here tonight, no matter how much horsepower or weight they are. And that can all be change on the sled. But once the class is started, which it is now, Jeff Bratz out of Kansasville, Minneapolis Moline G1050 will be the first puller of the class to give us a distance. And the sled will operate the same from now on through the whole class. Almost to 300 feet. Give Jeff a hand. A long time, great competitor here at the Racine County Fair. 294 and 06 is the mark. First distance that we see onto the board here. So we will have 25 hooks will go down the track of the 9,500 7-mile-per-hour farm tractor class. Over on the heavy farm side, Randy Bauman went 253 and 74. Now it's Dustin Hageman's turn from Union Grove. Oliver 2255 is the tractor. The leading distance is 273 and 7. How about that, fans? That V8 put some smoke in the air. He had to be 273. Look at that, 274. New leader! Dustin Hageman is going to the top of the standings, 274 and 41. Oliver 2255. Another great pass on the light farm tractor class, 299 and 75. If you're paying attention in your notebook, that is a new leader. He takes over the top spot with the Minneapolis Moline G1000. Andrew Winsky from Waterford goes around Jeff Bratz. His distance of 294 is now in the second place position. 299 and 75. That'll be our mark to beat Andrew from Waterford. and the G1000 Minimo. On the grandstand track from Lakeville, Illinois, 1066 International, Bill McNeil is the tractor we see. He comes real close, Bill McNeil from Lakeville, Illinois, to the top spot, but is a bit short here at 270 and 96. 270 and 96, that'll put him in the third place position. Dustin Hageman's the current leader at 274. Sam Infusio from Summers, 273, is sitting in second. And now Bill McNeil is in the third place position. More Oliver action here on the infield track. Oliver 1755 from Kansasville, Marvin Hageman. Inline 6-cylinder diesel 1755. Right there, Marvin will take advantage of the hydraulic over-under shift, put it down to the underside, and this is a perfectly restored Oliver 1755. That's all the power under the hood right there. That takes him to 254.08. How about a hand for the Oliver here tonight? Perfect tractor from front to back as far as the restoration goes. 254.08 will be the distance. Jeff Bush is lined up on the starting line on the grandstand track out of Union Grove, Wisconsin. And he's aboard his case 1370 from Burlington. Jeff Bush on the fair board, does a lot here this week, and he taking a little time right here to go down the track with a big case 1370. 274 is the leading distance. Keep an eye on the board as Jeff Bush comes down through here. He's working it. He's got the throttle all the way forward. Taking the right side of the track. Oh boy, Jeff Bush not going to get there tonight. Let's give him a round of applause. 239 and 57 as he comes down the right-hand side of the track and runs out of traction. On the case, Ager King 1370. Jeff Bush, Fairboard president, and talking to Kevin Earhart down there. Kevin Earhart on the fairboard as well. Those two help out a lot as far as the track goes. And then all the great supporters from the fairboard and the committee, they're all over the place here at the grandstands. A little bit of popping and banging from this Oliver. His name, Oliver Key, is Oliver 1755. And he is definitely going to give it his best shot here. He gets it cleaned out there. How about a hand for this Oliver 1755 gas here tonight? Tough break that he has on the track, spitting and sputtering and carbureted gas engine. And when it gets under load, timing and the fuel injection is just not coming together for him here tonight. It'll idle fine. Revs it up just like that, and that's where you see a little trouble on the track here this evening. 137.68 is going to be the distance for him. Now we'll take a look at Jerry Henningfield from Franksville, 1466 International. And he's got wheel weights galore here in the 14,500 pound maximum weight class. He'll throw the TA ahead, and he's ready to party here tonight. Jerry Henningfield's down there at 277 and 50. 277 and 50, right at 9 miles per hour, the speed limit, and that'll put him into the top spot. A perfect run out of Franksville for Jerry Henningfield. Always does well here at the fair, and he's in a good spot right now to become the Racine County Fair top champion of the class. This is a case 1030 from Franksville. Connor Esch is out here tonight. Look at this, gets hold of the track is Connor Esch out there. Give him a hand, he loves it. 398 is the mark, and that puts him right into the first place. 299 and 75 is what he had to beat, and he is just about a foot farther than that. As we are 6 tractors in of 23, and he will be now the mark to beat. The Comfort King Case 1030 from Franksville, Connor Esch. 300.98. New leader here in the class of 9,500 pound farm tractors. This is the last tractor in the heavy farm class. Steve Lang over here from Franksville, 1566 International. He has to beat 277 and 5. Here tonight, that is the mark to beat. Jerry Hagenfield is the current leader. 1 tractor left. Steve Lang from Franksville, 1566. 2:52 and 42. Doesn't quite get there. 2:52 and 42 for Steve Lang. And that means 2:77 and 5. Jerry Hagenfield will get the win here tonight in the heavy farm class. Second place at 2:74 going to go to Dustin Hageman. 22:55 Oliver. Third place at 2:73 is Sam Infusio from Summers, and 15:66 IH gets third place. The top three in the 14.5 class. Top 7 tractors, I think, are in the money here, so come on up if you're in the top tractors in that class. Payout happens here in the grandstands. A shiny red tractor comes to us over on the 9,500 farm class. 806 Farmall out here from Union Grove, Bennett Wilkes. Bennett Wilkes, as always, has a cheering section with him year after year, and he has a clean-looking tractor ready to go to all the way to that 300-foot mark here tonight. Let's see what he can do. Oh, he comes so close. 289 and 85. Give him a big round of applause tonight. What a pass here at the Racine County Fair. Where will that put him? We'll see. Donna has for us 289 and 85. That's in the top 5 for him. Fourth place, I think. Fourth place. Fourth place for him. We start a new class over on the grandstand track, and it is 12,500 pound maximum weight, 15 mile per hour maximum speed, and this is the enhanced farm class. These got the big engines, the big fuel pumps, and they got all the money spent on these tractors to go fast here tonight at the fair, and this will be a big display of power. Who can come out on top tonight? We'll see. Robert Fleiss is our first tractor from Paris, 1466 International. Let the smoke fly. He's at the 300-foot mark, fans. Robert Fleiss. 310.06 is the first mark for our test puller. 13.5 miles per hour. 15 is the max. And it's decision time for him. He gets to decide if he likes that, if he can turn it down as he's the first one on the track in this new class. And we do hear he does turn it down. He will be back at the end of the class of 9 tractors inside the class. More safety equipment found on these tractors, RPM monitors, wheelie bars, some safety under the hood as these tractors got the big pumps on it, and these tractors here are injecting somewhere around probably 400 more cc's of fuel. I'd say probably 5 or 6 times more fuel than the class that just went down the track, and that gives this class here probably around a 300 horsepower jump from the last class to this class, if not a little bit more. And we see a Ford Blue tractor come to us for the first time here this evening on the 9,500 pound farm tractor class. It's a Ford 8600. Out of Burlington, Cole Cook is the driver. The Ford down the track tonight, 2:56 and 51, and a great effort for him. A good-looking tractor, Ford 8600 out of Burlington. Cole Cook here tonight, fans. What a run. He loves it. He can love it. He can hear you down here on the track, and awesome pass. And stay with the Ford tractors. This is a 9000 Ford. They step it up a little bigger under the hood. Steve Struder from Waterford is out here in the Ford 9000. And he's going to set our distance to beat as 301 is wiped off the board. Robert Fleiss turned down that hook, so this will be the distance to beat for Steve Struder. It's all on the line right here for this Ford. Steve Struder, 3:04 and 70 will set the distance to beat here. 3:04 and 70 for Steve Struder. Yeah. Here we go with our next tractor is going to be Kyle Hageman out of Union Grove, 1750 Oliver, as we got new water in the scraper here and a great chance to enjoy those conversations with our friends and family with us in the grandstands. It's a full grandstands here again tonight. We appreciate that as we get these tracks prepped, and gives us a chance to thank our great sponsors: Performance Planning, County Line Contractors, Asphalt Contractors, Tom Fleiss Jr. Farms. Great pole night sponsors as we got more Oliver action coming down the track at us. 2:54:28 is the mark out here on the track for the Oliver, the Hageman family out here with quite a few in the class. Out of Union Grove, 1750 Oliver. It'll be the 1950 T coming our way up next. Greg Peterson out of Harvard, Illinois, with his favorite tractor on the farm, the 1066 International Black Stripe. A big smile on his face when he climbs aboard a red one. He loves it. And we'll see what he can do here, if he's going to love his distance or not. He has to beat 3:04:70. Steve Struder, Ford 9000 is the mark to beat. Greg Peterson up here from Illinois on the track now. Oh, let's give Greg a handful here tonight here on the track for Greg. That tractor giving him a handful, making him work out there. 2:86:71 is the distance there, and he's gonna think that one through his mind several times as comes on the clutch pretty fast and pretty hard and pulls down the RPMs. And he knew the tractor would come back to life. He knows it's got potential. He's got the fuel pump to do it. He's got the engine to do it. So when the tractor finally come back to life through that TA ahead, and he had to go with it. He was really debating whether to pull the TA back or not at the end of the run. He knew he had plenty of RPM, but down when the sled got heavy, killed out on him at 2:86:71. Travis Hageman is here from Kansasville on the track, 1950 T. Oliver. 3:00:98 is the leading mark in the 9,500 farm class. And 2:48:53 is where the power goes away for Travis Hageman from Kansasville on his Oliver here tonight. So it's Connor Esch from Franksville, the Case 1030. That's your leading tractor in the 9,500 pound class. 398 is still the distance to beat here on the pit side track on the Iron Anchor out of Janesville, Wisconsin. Dean in the cab of the Iron Anchor tonight out of Lupke's saddle, and the Public Enemy is the sled on the grandstand side out of Kewaunee, Wisconsin, and Northeast Wisconsin. Josh in the cab there out of Double J Power Sports. He operates two sleds sponsored by Senpico Channel Seed and Barrel Engines, sponsoring the Public Enemy sled this summer. And the tractor on the track is Curtis Shad from Woodstock, Illinois, 806 International. Oh, that's it right there. Got to jack the throttle. One of the tractors coming from PI Motorsports. You see those sponsors there. Balm Engine, Northwoods Head. And he'll back it up. Another tractor that got over on the right side of the track, and it just did not work out for him very well. Over on the right side, lost the traction, spun out early at 2:26:95. Mason Hageman gets it backed up from Kansasville John Deere 4000. It'll be the the next tractor on the iron anchor. And you see right there the Super Farm tractors from PI Motorsports. They are on deck. They are in the lineup here next on the grandstand side. PI Motorsports, 3 points classes come from them on the grandstand side next. Super Farm Tractors comes your way, followed by the 3.0 Limited Pro Stock Diesel Trucks and Pro Farm Tractors. And on the pit side, up next will be the Badger Truck Puller Super Stock, Work Stock Diesel, and Mod Trucks. Distance out there on the track, 2:43 and 90 is the distance for Mason Hageman in that 4,000 John Deere. Our next tractor to rock and roll down the track is Travis Hageman from Kansasville. And look at this. Travis has got the 1466 International. He's got the hand in the steering wheel and on the throttle. He's really got to work it here tonight. Can he do it? Oh, no, look at the speed limit there. After a really good run in a 295, he goes a bit over that speed limit. .295 and 30 would have been the mark there. I think that would have put him in second place, but a DQ over the speed limit for him tonight. That is a tough break this evening. Our next John Deere is out there getting hooked up from Franksville. 4020 John Deere, an immaculate restored shiny tractor. Tim Kling out here. A great effort for Tim Kling as he gets it down through there. All the way to 284 and 53. That should get him up near the top 5. And that will get him to the top 5. 5th place for Tim Kling here in the farm class. He's going to be up in that top 5 so far. Give him a hand. A great night for him. Here we go with the case. Riley Storm from Waterford. Case 930 working the throttle. The engine goes away for a minute. Out of Waterford, Riley Storm, case 930. And a pull-off tractor is going to come on down and get him as he'll hop off. How about a hand and a round of applause for this guy full of coolant out here on the track. It's our first victim that's going to have to spend some money here tonight to get back to the track. He's seen it right away, and he knew it. Coolant coming out the top of the radiator cap in a big way. Something in his cooling system is definitely not right, because even if he overfilled the radiator and it boiled over, it usually would do that later in the hook. It got warm, it got pressurized really fast, and it is either his water pump or something is not doing its thing, and then pops a head gasket, and that's what the tick was there. Loses a head gasket, probably, who knows, filled the engine full of coolant. And that one will be all ripped apart and all over the shop floor here the rest of the weekend. There'll be parts scattered all over for Riley Storm out of Waterford 206 and 64. He's back once again, the John Deere 820 out of Caledonia. Nick Maliki from Caledonia, and the 2-cylinder John Deere 820 will come rumbling down through here next. PI Motorsports Super Farm Tractors is our next class on the grandstand side, and Super Stock Trucks, the Noise Boys, are coming their way. Where are our 2-cylinder people here tonight? Where's my John Deere 2-cylinder fans? Give them a nice round of applause out here at the county fair. Going down the track. The one thing about it, 219, he is not going to get last place. That deserves a round of applause. Not going to get last place for the 2-cylinder John Deere. That's an accomplishment right there as he crawls down at 2.5 miles an hour and uses that big torque and those big jugs under the hood and those big pistons keep working down to 201.9. Last place distance so far is 137. Oliver Keys with that gas-powered Oliver having some issues out there with the carburetor. He's your last place driver. Your current leader in the class is 300.98. Connor Esch from Franksville, he's leading the class of 9,500 tractors as we got our next big farm one dialed up and ready to rip. Out of Lakeville, Illinois, Eric Powell comes at us, and he also gets down under the RPM too far, and it won't come back for him. And he will push in the clutch there as he knows he's got a lot on the line here. He's really good at tractor in this class year after year, so he definitely wants a big run tonight. Thank you to the sponsors, County Line Hall, Earhart Farms, Performance Planning, County Line Contractors, J. Nevery Services, Asphalt Contractors, Jerry Wolcomb, Tom Fleisch Jr. Farms for their contributions here to Friday night truck and tractor full action at your Racine County Fair. This tractor out of Illinois right now, the black stripe in its work clothes, all original looking black stripe internationally. You'll find that forward gear, probably high third with the TA back is where he'll get things started. Throw that TA forward. 15 mile per hour speed limit. He's got to beat 3:04 and 70. That's our mark to beat. Steve Struder in the Ford 9000. That's what we're looking for here. Eric Powell here goes 2:52 and 1-2, and he's right at 10 mile an hour. He'll go in the high second. He kind of changed it up on me. I didn't think he'd do it, and he did. He put it into high second with the TA back the whole way down. Nathan Hageman from Burlington is out here, 17:55 Oliver. And he'll be the sixth Hageman tractor in the class, 17:55. 3:00 and 98 is the leading mark. He just keeps going and going and going, fans. How about a big hand for him as he is right up there. Awesome pass. 290 and 21 is the mark. 290 and 21. Nathan Hageman, 290 and 21. That's going to get him right in the top five of up in those areas. We count them backwards here. Third place, I see. Fourth place it would be for him. Fourth place for Nathan Hageman on that pass right there. So that is up in the money here tonight in the big class of 23 tractors, 9,500 local farm. Keith Storm, our hometown man right here, case 1175. 3:04 is the mark to beat for Keith Storm. I know he's got the tractor to do it. Will he put it all together? Will he be a smart driver? Will he make good decisions? And will he let the tractor do the work? Sit back and enjoy. Oh, no, the tractor and the power goes away. The turbo lets loose on him. Keith Storm marches down there to 297 and 10. 7 feet short of the lead. 297. That should put him up second place here so far where they are. Keith Storm 297 and 10. Matt Weber will be up next, and then Robert Fleiss will come back at the end of the class. 2 tractors remaining before PI Motorsports Super Farm hits the track. 9 Super Farms in the class. Boy, what an excellent night of Super Farms we have coming our way shortly. Do not go anywhere, and if you're just coming in to the fair, a big line of folks walking into the grandstands here now, coming out of the fair. Excellent night of polling. Perfect summer weather we have here. Thank you, Performance Planning, County Line Contractors, Asphalt Contractors, J. Nevery Services, Bauer Design and Construction, County Line Hall, for your contributions to make this night so successful and bring this great action here to you folks in the grandstands at the Racine County Fair. A lot of years and a lot of tradition here at the fair and a lot of great things to see. All the animals, the FFA, the 4-H, all the organizations out there with their food stands, their animals, and their displays. Not to mention the live music, rodeo action here tomorrow in front of the grandstands, and then the area's biggest demolition derby to come this weekend. Non-stop action on a beautiful weekend to enjoy the Racine County Fair. Our next 2 tractors coming to us. Out to the track now. Matt Weber will be the first one in the 12.5, 15-mile-an-hour enhanced farm. 1066 International from Burlington out here. And we get word, John Konoski from Raymond, he ripped a fan belt on the Minneapolis Moline M670, and he's putting one on the sled right there. That's not the tractor, it's the sled. And that's what they're working on there on the 9500 farm. So they'll get that fixed and we'll stay going in the heavy farm. Matt Weber from Burlington, 1066 International. Well, coming right down into the living room of you folks in the grandstands there. Nice effort. 15.0 mile an hour. 273 and 35. Matt Weber from Burlington, 1066, 273 and 35. That puts him right there in the mix. A nice pass for him. 1 tractor left to go, Robert Fleiss. And the report is fixing the belt on the Iron Acre. On the engine there, diesel-powered sleds, both of them here. The engine on these sleds sit right down underneath the cab of the weight transfer machine. There's weight in the weight box that comes up the rail, and that transferred weight comes up as the puller vehicle goes up the track. The weight box is powered by those rear tires on the sled. It puts more and more weight on the pan that slides across the ground. And that is what brings the pulling vehicles to a stop. The sled weighs around 30,000 pounds sitting there, and it's got around 6 to 12,000 pounds of weight being transferred from the back to the front. And that'll bring all these vehicles to a stop around that 300-foot mark. The sled is adjusted. The speed that the box comes up, that's adjusted. How much weight they put in there is adjusted. And when the back of the pan is dropped onto the surface, that is an adjustment that can all be done to the weight transfer machine tonight. Robert Fleiss is out here now from Paris, 1466. 301 was his first mark. He's got to go farther than 304 if he wants to come home champion of the Racine County Fair. Last one in the class that can do it right here, folks. How about it, fans? 305, 1 foot farther. And Mr. Suter, there's your winner. He was a working. Robert Fleiss gets the job done. 305.18 the official distance. He will be in the top of the standings, collects all that payout money, and gets all the bragging rights as champion of the Racine County Fair on Friday night. What an awesome job. As we get the rundown here, Robert Fleiss does win the class. Second place goes to Steve Struder from Waterford at 304. Third place this evening, Keith Storm at 297. And fourth place in the class, Greg Peterson from Harvard, Illinois at the 1066 at 286. Fifth place goes to Matt Weber from Burlington, 273. And sixth to Eric Powell. And seventh to Curtis Shad. As we get back going in the 9,500 class. New engine fan belt on the iron anchor is what happened here. John Konetsky from Raymond up now, and then look at all those tractors yet to come here in this class. About 9 tractors left to go, I believe, once we get through all of them. John Konetsky from Raymond, Minneapolis Moline M670. You will tighten up the chain. The last one in the class should be Nolan Maurice from Union Grove. He should be the last tractor. The next few we'll see will be Ryan Edquist, Keith Storm, Justin Earhart, Anthony Beck, all coming our way. Just going and going, M670. How much farther does it got left in them? It won't stop. It'll right there, 195.98. Folks, let's give them a hand. What a great piece of history out here on the track. The M670 diesel, that was quite the tractor when it come out onto the pulling scenes, onto the farm. 195 and 98. The leader in the class is Connor Esch from Franksville, case 1030, 300.98. PI Motorsports Super Farm is coming our way on the track now. A great group of Super Farms we have here tonight, and we are going to turn up the power. And thank you to the great 2025 sponsors: Northwoods Heads, K3 Tire, Ball Machine, Rob Seco, Barrel Engine, Triple K Farms, Karen Larson and Stopfire, St. Lawrence Equipment, Sixel Repair, Custom Offsets, Mayville Gun Club, Fair Valley Performance, Stein Seed, Asphalt Contractors, Gunderson Grain Farms, K&M Sales and Service, Stone Innovators, Larson Farms, Casimir Czech Grain Farms, the BRT Transport, the Pit Stop Event Services, Lakeshore Custom Builders, Rogan's Welding, and Vogel Transport. All sponsors of PI Motorsports Super Farm Tractor Action. This is the Blue Collar Dollar is what it's called. Ford 8730 out of Burlington. Robert Cordes here in the seat, strapped in. 640 cubic inch engines, P-Pump providing the fuel, a 3-inch turbocharger, and over 1,500 horsepower, about ready to be unleashed here at the Racine County Fair on Friday night. It's the Big Smoker Tractors out here from PI Motorsports. Super Farm action comes our way, fans. Are you ready? Tractor pull people, let me hear ya. Who's excited? Here we go. Oh, a little less excited we become right there. Oh, shoot. Oh. What a letdown. Some people say that about my ex-girlfriend, too. It's the same thing that happened there. Oh, man. Robert Cordes close to home. This is about as hometown as he gets, and he's going to get pulled off down the track, and he'll come back around. He'll drop that hook and come back here later on in the class. And that gives us a great chance to talk to our a good chance to talk about our next driver, Ryan Edquist from Union Grove as well. Case 930 is the tractor is here. We start to wind it down. 8734 will come back later on in the category. We hope he's got that option as the first competitor. How about that, fans? If you know Robert Cordes, give him a nice golf clap as he comes down there. He's feeling pretty down in the dumps.
Yep, it's perfect. Thank you.
That's Ryan Edquist out here. 249 and 06 is the mark for him. And folks, joining me up here in the crow's nest, we got our royalty of the Racine County Fair. And I'm going to turn the mic over to Paige, and she's going to tell me what's your favorite part about the fair so far, and then let us know what's going on here this weekend.
My favorite part about the fair so far is all of the people that have come and said hi. Thank you to everyone. I hope everyone is having a great time tonight at night number 2 of the Truck and Tractor Pulls here at the beautiful Racine County Fair. My name is Paige Kennecke, your 2025 Racine County Fairest of the Fair, and I'm excited tonight to watch these talented drivers compete for power, precision, and pride as they push the pedal to the metal and their machines to the max down that track. I hope everyone will come out tomorrow night at the grandstands for Bulls and Barrels at 6 o'clock. I will now be passing our microphone over to our 2024-2025 Racine County Agricultural Ambassador, Shannon Roberts.
Thank you, Paige, for that kind introduction. As she said, I'm serving as the Racine County Agriculture Ambassador, and my name is Shannon Roberts. I'm honored to be here with you all tonight, and I hope you all enjoy the polls. If you guys get hungry, don't forget to stop by the Waterford FFA food stand and maybe a cream puff from the Racine County Farm Bureau for dessert. Thank you for coming.
Hello, everyone. There is a lot of people out in that crowd. If you are excited to watch tonight, make some noise. I am serving as the 2025 Racine County 4-H Outstanding Teen. Thank you all for coming out tonight, and please stop by the livestock auction tomorrow morning at 9:30 in the sale arena.
How about a hand for all of our royalty up here this evening? Great group of ladies here tonight. And thank you so much. Hope you all three enjoy the rest of the weekend here at the fair. Our next Super Farm's out here, Mark Schultz from Hartford, Blue Bayou, number 2. There it is, Ford fans, one for you there to cheer for. Awesome pass, 289 and 94. Mark Schultz. It's a Ford 8000. Yeah, these are Super Farms out here from PI Motorsports. They're right in that 15 to 1600 horsepower range. Powerful machines with a 3-inch turbocharger, custom P-pump and billet injectors provide a lot of fuel to a custom 640 cubic inch engine with custom built recast heads on top. On the farm side, this is Keith Storm from Franksville. Case 1030 is the tractor. He will be the next one out here to shoot for Connor Esch. He's our current leader, 300 and 98. Connors has the mark to beat here in the 9,500 farm class. .282 and 43 is going to be the distance there for Keith Storm. Nice effort right there. As we tighten the chain with our John Deere, this is Matt Lemke from Brownsville. Tractor's called Green Energy. It's a John Deere 4255. Here in the class. Through 289 and 94 was our first mark. He'll lower down the visor on the helmet. 42.55, John Deere will await that green flag as he will bend the throttle, start to build the boost, and bring up that RPM. Almost 4,000 RPM out of this diesel engine, about ready to come to life. Nice effort here, 280. John Deere people giving him a hand tonight, and that's awesome. You can see down there, if you're sitting down at the end of the track, you can see his TV monitor right in front of the steering wheel. And data acquisition systems are on all these tractors here in the Super Farm class. And that monitors a whole lot of different things that are monitored on that screen, not only the RPM. You can see all of his individual cylinder temperatures, all of his intake temperatures and exhaust temperatures. His boost on each side of the turbocharger can be monitored. And they'll study that data at each and every event. Matt Lemke and Green Energy at 280.21. Justin Earhart will get the wheel here out of Union Grove, John Deere 4020, as we get down to the last few competitors of the 9,500 Enhanced Farm 7 mile an hour. He's getting down there, fans. Mr. Earhart from Earhart Farms. Can he do it? Let's give him a hand, John Deere people. .290 and 07. I don't know if that'll get him to the top 5 or not. I think he might be just outside. He needed about 4 or 5 more feet to get there. That'll put him into 5th place, 290.07. 290 and 21 is the 4th place driver. And this is the Alice Chalmers, D21 on Super Farm side. Mark Stuckman comes from Plymouth, Wisconsin. Tractor's called in due time. The big D21 coming at us. Oh, what a run for Mark Stuckman from Plymouth. That's right up Lake Michigan, up near Green Bay is where he calls home. 289 and 39. He's about a half a foot back from the leader, Mark Schultz. And the Blue Bayou Ford is at 289 and 94. That is the leading distance. Mark Stuckman, 289.39 here in the Northwoods Head Super Farm class, brought to you by K3 Tire and Ball Machine from PI Motorsports. These tractors pulling for points here tonight on the points race with PI Motorsports. You can find information on them at pipullers.com. I invite you to head on over to their website, a newly redesigned website for this season from PI Motorsports. And I had a great time back with PI Motorsports a little over 10 years ago. Got to do a lot of announcing. Started up their Facebook page way back in the day, and they have really really come along onto the cutting edge with their website and social media. It's a John Deere now. Anthony Beck from Waterford, 40-20 John Deere. It's going to be his chance at the track. The Blue Bayou Ford, he's got a couple wins on the season in the PI class, and he is your current leader in the class here tonight. Excellent pass down through there. 280 and 29 is the distance we see on the board. Brian Gunnarsson will tighten up the chain from Waterford. Tractor's called Gunsmoke. And Gunsmoke sits number 2 in the point standings. 2 third-place finishes and a second-place finish for him this season so far. He had a tough night in Helensville, and that took him back in the point standings. He needs a good night here. He's got to get around Blue Bayou. Number 2, 289 and 94 is the mark to beat. For the Gunsmoke, John Deere, 40-55. All right there, fans, just back from the lead for the John Deere here tonight. 288 and 91 is the distance. That'll put him third so far in the class. All these tractors going to be right within 2 feet of each other in the top 3. And the Gunsmoke sits number 2 in the point standings coming into tonight, and he will about stay there, it looks like. Third place so far, a big class of Super Farms. Thank you to County Line Hall, Josh Nevery Services, Jerry Wilcom, Bauer Design and Construction and Performance Planning, Asphalt Contracting, and Tom Fleiss Jr. Farms for your partnership of the Racine County Fair on Truck and Tractor Pull Night. Mark Shad will be our next Super Farm from Lake Geneva. 9 Super Farms in the class here. Greg Peterson comes back out of Harvard, Illinois. Second time onto the track here, but he's on the 40-20 John Deere this time around in the 9,500 class. Let's see what he can do. 398 is the mark to beat down on the board for Greg Peterson. Greg Peterson was shooting for that top 5 mark, but not going to get there. 284 and 44 going to be his mark, 284 and 44. And the Hooterville Express is out here now. New paint on it, new look here. The black stripe 1066 International. He comes from Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. Close to home here is Mike Shad. 289.94 is the magic number. That if he goes farther than that, he will take over the lead. The farthest one down the track wins the class here in Super Farm action. .279 and 15, which is a good mark as you heard the sound coming out of that engine. And not exactly running exactly how he wanted. Not sure if all 6 cylinders were doing its thing there. You can hear a little bit of a noise for the tractor sitting in 3rd place in the point standings. He does have a win in Mayville earlier this season. About 1 hook ago, I think that was in Mayville. This tractor come home on the top spot, got the win. Not tonight, though. 279 and 15 for Mike Shad and the Hooterville Express International. That'll bring up Andy Keys, will be next to hook in Super Farm. As we got down in towards the bottom here, 4 tractors remaining. 4 of them left to go in the 9,500 farm class. Sarah Fleiss is out here from Franksville. Awesome looking 856 International. Where's my Sarah Fleiss people at in the crowd? Anybody know this gal? Yes, indeed. And she has to beat, like we've been saying for a long time, 300.98 Connor Esch from Frankville. Connor in his case 1030 is the leading tractor out here. 299 and 75. Andrew Winsky is sitting in 2nd, and 294 Jeff Bratz sits number 3. And Sarah Fleiss, 856 International, will let the clutch out and see what she can do. A good hook right there. Sarah Fleiss out here on the track tonight, ladies and gentlemen. 283 and 49 is the mark. 283 and 49 for her. And this is going to be Andy Keys waiting for the green flag now from Burlington. His hometown county fair, the Blue Bayou, New Holland. Part of the Blue Power Special Pulling Team. Andy Keys helps out a lot of competitors here in the Midwest. Has a lot of fun pulling it. His own tractor out here, Blue Bayou, no doubt about that. An awfully tough competitor, past points champion, past competitor at the National Farm Machinery Show, the Invitational in Louisville, Kentucky in February. This tractor's been down the track there at the most prestigious event in the United States, the National Farm Machinery Show. He was there a couple of years ago representing PI Motorsports. Andy Keys out of Burlington. Andy Keys, 271 and 44. Folks, let's give him a little tough luck round of applause here tonight. Help him out. And I'd have some bad luck as you see all the white smoke under there. And right about the 100-foot mark, it started to burn a piston. And he is definitely down a cylinder in that tractor. All that steam, it's breathing heavy. It doesn't sound right and all that blow by. And he will have that engine completely apart. And he will be hopefully not spending all of his budget in the beer tent later tonight here at the fairs. He's going to need a heavy wallet to get that one back to the track as his trouble continues. He's had some issues, and he's been making gains and making changes, and I think he hurt the Ford here tonight out on the track. The distance is back a little at 271, and all the blow-by that started to come out of that tractor at 150 foot, I knew he was washing down a cylinder, and he burnt through a piston, and he's got issues under the hood. That's my guess on that one there. Brett Waldron comes to us now from Franksville, 706 International. Boy, he is awfully close here in this tractor. Brett Waldron does a great job out of Franksville, 292 and 42. That's going to put him near the top three. I don't think he's not going to crack the top three. I think he'll go number 4. 294 is the third place distance. 293, Brett Waldron now in the fourth place. And in that money, 7 tractors will get payout. Top 7 will get the payout here, so come on up if you're in the top 7. And here's a new tractor too. A few of us haven't seen this one in Super Farm. It's transformed from a Pro Farm tractor to a Super Farm a couple of years ago, and the team is down here from Suring, Wisconsin. It's called Excessive Change is the name of the John Deere 5010. Bob Mahoney in the seat, strapped in the 5-point safety harness inside the roll cage. Suring, Wisconsin is where he calls home, and that's 3 hours straight north up near Iron Mountain, Michigan is where this tractor comes to us from. Oh, man, what a strong pass. Thought he was going to chug along all the way down there. 278 and 12 is going to be the distance. 278 and 12, and he is going to be about 10 feet back from where he wanted to be. Got a little over more to the right side and just ran out of traction. The right side of the track just did not seem to be the place you want to be here tonight. But it's hard to tell if you want to be on the left side. Somebody has to try it, then we would know. Right down the middle seems to be a good spot. But if the tractor kind of pulls you over to the right at the end of the track, it doesn't seem to end well for our folks out here in the class. Super Farm Tractors with PI Motorsports. They're great sponsors. Barrel Engine, Northwoods Heads, helping them out here this season. And now we take a look at Cody Hageman, Oliver 1850, back on the track here. Awesome effort right there. He gets down through there. Fans give him a hand. He was back on the track. Cody Hageman out here tonight for us. If you remember, he was the very first puller of the night, and that was almost 2 hours ago. He was the first puller in the class, and they reset the sled, and he come back. And then Nolan Maurice, he turned down his hook, so he will be the last tractor down there by the orange cone. He's sitting down there waiting his turn at it. He'll be the last in the farm class. Shannon Bennett is on the starting line. He gets the green flag out of East Troy, Wisconsin. Ford 9000. It's called Out of the Blue. Super farm action. Good effort for Shannon Bennett, folks. But again, we see that mark at 278.85. 278.85 is going to be his distance. Shannon Bennett out of East Troy. The leader, Mark Schultz, Blue Bayou number 2 at 289. Robert Cordis will be the last tractor in the class, and he'll be the last one to see if he can take over the top spot in the Northwoods Head sponsored Super Farm class with PI Motorsports. Brought to you by K3 Tire, Balm Machine, 2025 major sponsors. PI Motorsports here out with 3 points classes for us tonight. And 1 Super Farm to go. Next class will be the limited pro stock diesel trucks. Our next class on the Badger truck puller side will be the super stock truck division. Then we'll have work stock diesel and mod trucks. The 3 classes from Badger truck pullers this evening. The very last tractor to go in the 9500 farm. 25 tractors down the track. This is Nolan Maurice out of Union Grove, 40-20 John Deere. 300 is the mark to beat. Boy, what if he takes the win right here? The crowd would go wild. Here we go, Nolan. Let's get it done. Folks, that'll do it right there. Last tractor. Let's give all these drivers a big round of applause in the local farm class tonight. What a great group of competitors. And 279.17 is the distance. 279 and 17. Nolan Maurice from Union Grove. And it's 1 super farm left for us as well. Robert Cordis out of Burlington. Tractor's called Blue Collar Dollar. A new tractor to him a few years ago, 8730 Ford. Oh, thought he was going to get there, fans. Comes close. How about a round of applause for Robert Cordis? A big thank you to Pull Night sponsors, County Line Hall, Earhart Farms, Jerry Wilcom Inc., Bauer Design and Construction, Tom Fleiss Jr. Farms, Asphalt Contractors, Performance Planning, and County Line Contractors are Pull Night sponsors here Friday night at the Racine County Fair. Robert Cordis at 283 and 44. So the win will go to Mark Schultz from Hartford, Blue Bayou at 289.9. Second place, 289.3. Mark Stuckman and the Alice Chalmers D21. Third place will go at the 283.44. Robert Cordes will get third place with the blue collar dollar. And then it's going to be 280.21. The fourth place position going to go to Matt Lemke in Green Energy. And looking down from there. Now, I switch it up. This is going to be fourth place at 288.91. Brian Gunderson will be fourth. And then Matt Lemke in fifth. That's the top five here that we see the Super Farm tractors. So again, the win to Mark Schultz. Second place at 289 to Mark Stuckman. At 283, Robert Cordes finishes third. And then fourth, to Brian Gunderson. Here is the top 10 in the 9,500 farm class. Sarah Fleiss finishes number 10. Greg Peterson finishes number 9. Number 8 goes to Tim Kling. Number 7 in the class to Bennett Wilkes. Number 6 finisher tonight is Justin Earhart. Number 5 goes to Nathan Hageman. Number 4 in the class goes to Brett Waldron. In the top 3, third place goes to Jeff Bratz from Kansasville at 294. 299 is Andrew Winsky from Waterford. His Minneapolis Moline finishes second. And first place, the big champion tonight, Connor Esch from Franksville, 1030 case, 300.98. How many diesel truck folks are here tonight? Where's my diesel truck people tonight? Let me hear ya. PI Motorsports is here with a limited pro stock diesel truck class for the first time on the point season coming out this year with PI Motorsports. These trucks here are 460 cubic inch engines, a 3-inch turbocharger, same as the Super Farms, P pumps or common rail on board, and these trucks are in that 1,500 horsepower plus. dual DOT tires on the back. This is going to be Trevor McCain from Spring Valley with a truck called Sandy. 1998 Dodge fans, sit back and enjoy diesel truck action. The track he goes. Dodge people, give him a hand. 300.37 will set the first distance on the board. Test Puller, limited pro stock diesel truck. Badger Truck Pullers super stock trucks are out here now. The noise boys of the night. Super stocks and mod trucks are going to make the noise. And Trevor is going to keep that hook, 300.37. He keeps it, and we're underway. Sean Hiddell will be up next from Ripon with a GMC. Our first super stock truck is going to be Chris Mark from Burlington, 1995 Ford. It's called Ford Thunder. It's the truck, a 2023 points champion. These trucks here are 535 cubic inch. The headers come straight out of the hood. DOT street legal tires on board in about 9,000 RPM, over 1,000 horsepower cranked out of these 585 cube V8s. .276 and 55 for the first one out here. 276.55. Test Puller super stock trucks. Ford Thunder. Chris Mark, the driver. Badger Truck Pullers like to thank their great sponsors, Dan's Diesel Performance, Steve's Car and Truck Repair, Reisman Excavating and Grading, Ann's Farmington Inn, River City Truck Repair, Word Trackside. Chris Mark keeps that pole, and that will set our mark to beat 276 and 5. .30 limited pro stock truck side of things. Sean Hiddell from Ripon. Truck's called Unleash the Beast. 07 GMC Duramax. Common Rail Duramax powered truck. Sean Hiddell. Sean Hoddle from Ripon. Watching the computer, waiting for the boost number to come there. Now it comes alive. Oh boy, the truck goes into lockup. It pulls down the RPM. 279 and 70, 279 and 70. And like I mentioned, a Common Rail Power CP3 given the fuel on that computer controlled Duramax. So a little different on the starting line, and it did take him a little longer than usual to build the heat and build the boost. And basically he watches a computer, and it's the computer and the laptop inside the cab that basically tells him when it's time to go. Compared to the other trucks that are all mechanically powered P-pump trucks, and all that power is in the throttle hand on the P-pump. You got to work the throttle, build the boost. It's all in your hand. Well, that truck there, it's all in the computer, and that computer is controlling the truck. He still's got a throttle hand, and that throttle goes right to the sensors and right to the computer. So a little different setup there, and you see that on the starting line for Sean. And 279 and 70 for his pass. Travis Lenz is out here in the Superstock truck side. Out of New Berlin, 1972 Chevrolet, sponsored by Holtz Motors. Good effort we see out here. .270 and 67 is going to be the mark. Travis Lenz out of New Berlin, 6 feet back for the lead. Couple pops out of the exhaust there. On our limited pro side, this is Jeff Helt out of Waunakee, Wisconsin, just a little west of Madison. Waunakee, that's the route I take to get here, and a long-time sponsorship from Fair Valley Performance on this truck. The Dodge he calls Ram Tough. Jeff Helt, long-time 3.0 diesel truck competitor, a veteran in the class on our starting line. He has to beat 300.37 as he starts to build up the boost. Bring on the RPM. Let's go. Racine County Fair, put it together. 3:21 and 4, new leader. Jeff Helt, a strong running truck, Ram Tough out of Waunakee. He had built that truck up from a street truck over 15 years ago or more. He started with that truck, and it has built it up. A long-time partnership, like I said, with Fair Valley Performance, giving him the power under the hood. And Fair Valley Performance out of Sauk City, Wisconsin, a great sponsor of PI Motorsports as well, and great to talk about Fair Valley Performance, as one of the sales personnel at Fair Valley. So if you need any tractor pull parts, give me a call. Be glad to help you out there. And a big thank you to all my customers that are out here competing tonight as well. It's great to see all the folks that I get to talk to during the week do well here on Friday night at the Racine County Fair. And Jeff Helt, definitely one of them. And he is out there in the top spot now, 3:21 and 40 in the PI Motorsports Limited Pro Stock diesel truck class. Badger Truck Pullers thanks to their great sponsors, MAV Hydraulics, Concord and Gallitz Excavating, J.W. Wagner Enterprises, Matco Tools, Stop Fire Extinguishers, Lake Country Heating and Cooling, Highway Light and Landscape, and 1848 Construction, all great partners of Badger Truck Pullers. This is Ross Davis out of Jefferson, Wisconsin, 1981 Chevy, sponsored by Jefferson Current Electric. This right here, a 3-time Superstock points champion, all the way back in 1999. Got his first championship with the truck here, 1981 Chevy. 276 is the mark to beat. Superstock trucks. 275 and 52 the distance, 1 foot behind the leader. Chris Mark still out there with his Ford. Ross Davis now number 2 at 275 and 52. On the truck side, last competitor in the class from Belvedere, Illinois, Chad Harmonson. The truck is called Stimulus Package, a throwback to 2020. That's one thing you could have done with your money. You get a 3.0 limited pro stock diesel truck. I think he got a little bit more than the rest of us, if I had to guess, on the old Stimulus Package. 3:21 is the mark to beat. Jeff Helt, you're in the top spot. Here comes Chad Harmonson coming our way. You put it together, fans. Give them a hand. Out of Belvedere, Illinois, 3:13 and 88 is the Stimulus Package distance this evening. He comes close to Jeff Helt, but will not get there. Jeff Helt will get the win in the class. Out of Wanakee, the Ram Tough Dodge, 321.40 is the winner. Chad Harmonson will finish second with Stimulus Package. Trevor McLean from Spring Valley finishes third at 3:00. Sean Haddell out of Ripon will finish fourth in the PI Motorsports Limited Pro Stock Diesel Truck class. A big thank you to Northwoods Heads, K3 Tire, Ball Machine for their sponsorship of PI Motorsports this season. We're down to one super stock truck. Tom Bosch from Franklin, Wisconsin is out here. His 2000 model Chevrolet, sponsored by Holtz Motors in Hales Corners and Watertown. Out of Franklin, Wisconsin, Tom Bosch, and 276 and 5 is the leading distance to watch on the distance board. Oh, the distance there, 256 and 7.8, and just not up into that leader territory. Kind of an odd pass. Tom Bosch just not having the ground speed. 2 miles per hour slower. Couldn't quite get hooked up here tonight with a Chevrolet. 256 and 78 going to be the mark. 276, Chris Mark gets the win this evening. Ross Davis will go number 2 at 275. Travis Lenz at 270 and 67 will finish third. Tom Bosch finishes fourth. And it's a new class here in the PI Motorsports division for points pulling action on the grandstand track. It's a Pro Farm tractor class from PI Motorsports. Similar to the Super Farm. They run a 640 cubic inch engine, limited to 3,000 RPM. They run a 3-inch turbo, P-pumps, billet injectors, produce a lot of torque at 3,000 RPM. These engines here are built to the max. William Leach, Bill Leach out of Burlington. Alice Chalmers 220, I like the name on this one. The Cocky Alice is out in the first tractor of the class. Test Puller here in Pro Farm action. 20.8 cut tires on the back is the maximum. These tractors will produce in that 13 to 1,400 horse at 3,000 RPM with a 3-inch turbo. Let's rock and roll, Alice Chalmers. Oh, the engine goes away. Not so cocky anymore, is he, John Deere people? I hear some boos for the Alice Chalmers out there. Oh, boy. .242 and 33. Now, he is the test puller, so he does have that option to keep it or turn it down. There's one Case, 3 International, and 2 Alice Chalmers are in the class. 242 is the mark for our test puller, Bill Leach out of Burlington, and he's going to keep that hook. He likes it, and he will take that 242. Something maybe not seeing something that he likes there on the data log is my guess there. On the track now, Kurt Vogel from Reedsburg, Wisconsin, the Red Baron Express 1066 International. And the Badger Truck Pullers work stock diesel trucks are going to be our next class. On the track here, work stock diesel, we'll talk about them in a minute. This is Kurt Vogel, the Red Baron Express. Oh, shoot, is what he says under his helmet. Oh, shoot. I got trouble. And Kurt Vogel is going to jump off and look at it. Fans, how about a tough luck for Kurt Vogel, one of the veterans out here tonight. That old man right there is not feeling so hot about the tractor. He climbs off, and Kurt Vogel and me, good friends from a long time ago, and it's a tough break for him as he's got trouble under the hood. Might have pulled the guillotine on him, I'm guessing. Turbocharger has trouble. Our first puller is going to be Dan Clark in the work stock class, 05 Chevy, called the 05. And Trent, you're up here. Trent, this is your dad on the track. What do you got to tell us about your dad?
So, he's my father, and
What kind of truck does he drive?
the '05 Chevy, which is known as the LOI.
It's got an LOI in it. And who's the sponsor of this truck? Who's all the sponsors?
Dan's Diesel Performance.
Dan's Diesel Performance, and that's your dad's business. And your mom is going to be pulling in this class also, right?
Yep.
And you're going to be up here to watch. You're going to be cheering them both on, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
Who do you think is going to win? Is it going to be your dad or your mom tonight?
My mom.
You think your mom's going to win? All right. Well, Dad's up first, Trent.
Wish you luck, Dad.
Wish you luck, Daddy says. Dan Clark out of Beloit, Wisconsin, the 05 Chevy, first one in work stock. About it, people, get loud! Dan Clark, Beloit, Wisconsin, 3:32.06 for Dan Clark and the Dan's Diesel Performance house truck right there. Out of Northern Illinois, Dan's Diesel Performance, great sponsors of Badger Truck Pullers, and they produce performance parts for many, many makes and models of diesel trucks, transmission, turbochargers, injectors, and engine parts. And all can be found at dansdieselperformance.com. Check them out online and give them a look for your performance. What do you think about that run? Your dad's out there at 3:32. You think that's going to be good enough for the win, or is your mom still going to beat him?
I think my mom's still gonna beat him, but who's ready to watch them work stock diesel trucks?
How about it, fans? Make a little noise. Who's ready to watch them? Trent, get them fired up here, Trent.
What?
Say, let's go.
Let's go!
I like it. They're fired up for you. Trent, how old are you again, Trent? How?
8.
Trent's 8 years old, and 8-year-old Trent, he's going to take over my job if I'm not careful here. Kurt Vogel, 152. That'll bring up Jim Biggin from Brownsville, Wisconsin. Tractor's called Grandpa's Toy, 1466 International. There it is, fans. Give him a hand. 3:28. Our first one all the way down the track here in the Pro Farm class. 3:28.01. That's good enough. Take that lead by a lot of footage. 2:42 is their mark to beat so far. But now, Jim Biggin is your class leader. Kelly Bryant, Pat Kupker, and Colton Fox are the next three in the Pro Farm class. Johnny Hooper from Palmyra is out here, 01 Dodge. Here in the work stock class, I believe DOT Street Legal Tires is the rule. S369 or an S464 turbocharger or a drop-in limitation here in the work stock. Johnny Hooper, 01 Dodge. .42 for Johnny Hooper. Yeah. Kelly Bryant is out here in the Pro Farm class out of Ripon, Wisconsin. Case 970, the Cruising Confusion. And Dave Schultz was longtime driver, turned over the driving duties to his daughter, Kelly. And she got first time in the seat earlier this summer. First Badger State pull in Baraboo, Wisconsin. for the American Family Children's Hospital benefit event that the Badger State Tractor Pullers put on to raise over $100,000 donated to the Children's Hospital in Madison, and that where she got her first Badger State pull at. In the driver's seat, Kelly Bryant, and she's in the seat here of the Cruisin' Confusion, case 970, and her dad down there on the starting line, getting her backed up and in position. Chain is tight on the Public Enemy. How about it, ladies? Where's my ladies in the crowd here? Kelly Bryant. She's going to come roaring down the track after she gets the tractor to cooperate. There is kind of a lot of white smoke starts to load up on fuel for her as she brings up that RPM. Big P pumps on board. They deliver a lot of fuel, and they'll climb up and take a look at the gauges in front of the steering wheel to see what is going on. And she knew something's not really quite acting right when she flicks the throttle ahead and sees all that white smoke and the engine bog out on her. Green flag will come out. Kelly Bryant, Ripon, Wisconsin. Sounds a lot better now. Going to take a look at it here. Our next truck is going to be Russell Gessling, as I'm guessing we are going to move tracks over to Russell Gessling out of East Troy. The truck is called Wishful Thinking, 2014 Ford 6.7 Power Stroke. As they'll get the track lined up at the end there for us, and the Ford, they're going to take a look under all the side shields to see what is happening there with just not coming off the idle. Very good. Overfueling, injection line issue, something not right. Russell Gessling, East Troy, 2014 Ford. 332 is the mark to beat. And Russell Gessling will kill the truck as well, and he'll get it refired. A little unconventional start there for Russell in the Power Stroke. It's ready to go now, fans. Here we go. Might have issue from Wednesday night still haunting him. Russell Gessling had a great hook on Wednesday. I hear from radio track side, Russell is not going to be able to make it down the track, and they're going to get him unhooked. As Ford Power Stroke people, you're going to go home with your tail between your legs here tonight, because it's not going to happen. One good thing about it, it was a Ford in the win in the Superstock truck class. I don't know what's going on here. Just want to drink. How about that, ladies? Let her hear ya! 3:25 and 62 is the distance for the case.
Can I use this one when Hank's up?
You want to use this one? I'll use this one. Make sure you talk pretty loud. You can try and talk right in front of it. Trent, well, Trent, we got 2 microphones up here now, so you got your own microphone, Trent. What do you think about that tractor over there? That was a pretty good pull, wasn't it? Do you think she did good?
Yep.
Yeah, she did. And Trent, do you want to help me out with this next truck here? I'm going to say who it is, and you tell me where he's from. So our next truck is David DeGrott. And Trent, where does he live? Where's he from?
What? East Troy.
He's from East Troy, Wisconsin. And what is he driving? What is his truck? 2014 Dodge.
2014 Dodge.
2014 Dodge. It's called In Debt. So we had one truck called the stimulus package. This one's called In Debt. Big credit card to get this one down the track for David DeGrott out of East Troy. A good run right there. Good run for David DeGrott. 292 and 97 for the truck called In Debt. And a lot of jokes you can make there with the truck called In Debt, credit card funded. Dan Clark is out there, 332. That's the mark to beat. David DeGrott now in second place. And Trent, you know about the next truck that's coming up. You get to tell us a little bit about that after this next tractor. But who's going to be our next truck competitor to come out here?
My mom, which is Heather.
Yep, your mom, Heather, is coming up next on the truck side. Tractor side, this is going to be the tractor from Gurney, Illinois. Pain in My Alice is right here on the side shield. Alice, 210. Pat Koopker. Pat Koopker, an awfully running good pro farm. 3,000 RPM, 1,400 horse on the Alice 210 on 20.8-inch wide cut tires coming our way. 328 is the mark to beat. Oh boy, he comes really close. Trent, he almost got there, but he didn't. 321.88. 321.88 for Ryan Koopker. Here in the workstock diesel truck class, I'd like to thank of our great sponsors, Steve's Car and Truck Repair, Dan's Diesel Performance, Highway Light and Landscape. Trent, introduce this next truck. Who do we got coming up next? Hold it real close to your mouth. There.
My mom,
A little louder.
my mom, Heather, the old Chevy Hank.
Yeah, she calls the truck Hank 02 Chevy. And where are you and Heather from? Beloit?
Beloit.
Out of Beloit, Wisconsin. Heather Clark now sponsored by Dan's Diesel Performance and Dirty Hooker Diesel out of Michigan. Dirty Hooker Diesel out of the state of Michigan really come together on this truck this season in the driveline, axles, tires, hubs. A lot of good parts from Dirty Hooker Diesel on Heather Clark's truck here this season. Power from Dan's Diesel Performance. Now, Dan Clark, your dad is at 332. Do you think your mom, Heather, has what it takes to beat your dad tonight, Trent?
Yes.
You do. How many folks out there think Heather can beat her husband, Dan, here tonight? Let me hear ya. Well, they think so too. Here we go with the ZF6 Duramax. How about it, fans? Get loud! 3:43, new leader! They did it. Trent, she took over the lead. She beat your dad. It's your mom in the top spot. Trent, what do you got to say?
Well, I'm really proud of you, Mom.
You're really proud of you, Mom. Trent, you're awful. That's awful nice of you to say. 8-year-old Trent, and that's his mom right there, Heather Clark and Heather and Dan out of Dan's Diesel Performance getting it done. What do you got to say to your dad? You're proud of your mom for getting the top spot. What do you got to say to your dad now?
Well, you did. You tried.
He tried. Yeah, he tried, I guess. That's the best he can do, Trent. He tried. He works on Mom's truck, too. Dan and Heather do a lot of work, so it's...
I got more to say.
Yeah, Trent, what else you got to tell us tonight?
Well, you might need a better turbo in your truck.
That's words of wisdom to his dad. You might need a better turbo.
Or better engine.
Just a better engine. How about a whole new engine? That would work, too, Trent. I tell you what, you give him some money out of your piggy bank and he can get a new engine. How about that? Here comes Colton Fox from Marcus Ann, the Red Hot Fox, 1466 International. He is the last pro farm tractor in the class here, folks. He has to beat 328. That's the mark to beat. Colton Fox, 1466 International.
Wait.
329, new leader. Trent, what do you think about that pass? 329, it looked pretty good.
5 out of 10 stars.
A 5 out of 10 stars, Trent. 329, he's the winner, Trent. He won the class. You think we can give him 8 out of 10 stars? No. I like it. Yeah, he is a tractor pull critic right here, I tell you what. And we'll get the rundown here. The PI Motorsports Pro Farm tractor class is the last one to go down the track. And a big thank you to Northwoods Heads K3 Tire and Balm Machine for their sponsorship of PI Motorsports. We're back in the diesel truck classes here. Trent and...
Just ask me the same question every time after.
Okay. Yeah, we'll give John Trentz is out here out of East Troy. 2002 Chevy will be the next in the work stock class. Pro Farm Tractors. We'll get the rundown here after John Tritz. John Tritz got a win up in Hillsboro, Wisconsin with Southwest Pullers a couple of weeks ago. Pretty good running truck, pretty stout here. Going to give a run for the money for Heather Clark. 343 and 75 is the mark to beat. Dan Clark's at 332. David DeGrott at 292. John Tritz is out here now. Brian Zielinski will follow him. 2 trucks left to go. Modified trucks will be up next from Badger Truck Pullers. Here we go, Trent. Take a look at this one. It's John Tritz out of East Troy.
Okay.
Duramax fans, give him a hand. Good run for John Tritz. 3:31 and 42 is the distance. 3:31.42. And Trent, what do you think about that one? How many stars out of 10 for John Tritz? Not a bad run. I think he bounced just a little bit.
5 out of 10.
5 out of 10 is all we're going to get there. Oh boy, it's tough out here tonight. It's hard to get 10 stars, isn't it, Trent?
Well, it was good.
But it was good, but not great. Is that what you're saying? Just good, or it could have been a little better?
Could be better, but I still think my mom did better.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, she is in the lead. Here's the results of the Pro Farm class from PI Motorsports. Colton Fox, the last tractor, gets the win. Tractor's called Red Hot Fox, 1466 International, 329 and 85. Second place goes to Jim Bigden from Brownsville, 1466 at 328. Third place at 325, Kelly Bryant from Ripon and Cruising Confusion. Pat Koopker finishes fourth on the Alice 210. Fifth place to William Leach and sixth to Kurt Vogel in the PI Motorsports class. Brian Zielinski will be out here next in the workstock diesel trucks. All right, and Brian Zielinski will come out here. Modified trucks from PI Motorsports are coming to the track next. 3 big mods will be out here to battle. The biggest 4x4 gas truck class in the nation comes our way next as we start to wind down the night. A lot of great things to happen at the fair this evening as well. Come on out here, enjoying some live music, grab some food, enjoy some entertainment here this evening. And as we get out here with our last workstock truck class. And Trent, what do you think Brian Zielinski is going to do? How far will he go with the Dodge?
I think a decent amount.
Yeah, he's got a Dodge Cummins. It's Duramax powered trucks. The Duramaxes are 1, 2, and 3 in the class. And here comes the Dodge. What do you like better? You like Dodge or do you like Chevys?
Chevy.
He likes Chevys. Well, there's a Chevy over on the grandstand track as we bring out Badger Truck Pullers modified truck action. The big boys of the Midway are out here tonight. Seth Davis out of Jefferson, Wisconsin is getting backed up. 2003 Chevrolet called Backspeed, sponsored by Jefferson Current Electric. A 650 cubic inch, naturally aspirated, big twin carburetors on top. A lot of horsepower, a lot of RPM. The big mountain motors come out here next. The biggest engines we find in the 4x4 truck class. Cut tires on these trucks as well. Weight boxes on the front. And we're going to go to him first. Seth Davis will be out here when he tightens the chain with a truck called Backfeed. It's about to get loud. Over almost 2,000 horse coming your way. Sled comes down on him. Fans, how about it? Our modified trucks here tonight. Seth Davis out here at 277 and 1.3, 277, 1.3 at 25.8 miles an hour. Trent, what do you think of that pass? What do you rate that one?
Pretty good.
Pretty good. 8 out of 10 stars.
I don't know. Put the speed on there. I'm gonna ask you a question. How far you think it's gonna get?
Okay, you ask me. All right, you ready? Ask me how far he's gonna go.
How far you think it's gonna go?
This next truck, Brian Zielinski, I think it's going to go pretty far. I think it's going to go past 300 feet. It's a Cummins, sponsored by Common Era Diesel. Where's my Cummins people tonight? Let's go! Nice run right there. How about it, fans? Work stock diesel trucks tonight. Let's give them all a big hand.
Let me hear it.
Awesome. Brian Zielinski, 327 and 49 is the distance. Trent, think about that one. What are you going to rate? What's your rating? How many stars for Brian Zielinski? 327 and 49 for the last work stock in the class. 2 more modified trucks to go here tonight.
8 out of 10 stars to be exact.
Yeah, not bad right there. The crackle of the V8 is back on the track now with Fritz Lubke is here from Janesville, Wisconsin, 2013 Chevrolet fiberglass body, scratching for traction. Lubke's Tubes and Hoses out of Janesville, the sponsor.
Okay, how much do you think this truck is gonna go?
Well, the last truck here in the class went 277. I think this one right here is going to go about 280 feet. I think he might take over the lead. That's my prediction. We'll see what the Chevrolet can do with a big mountain motor, big horsepower, about ready to come thundering down through the track at the Racine County Fair. 4x4 modified truck action. Chevy fans right there, let's give them a hand.
How many stars out of 10 do you think?
Well, I think that one, I'd probably give him about 4 out of 10 stars because that truck right there, he kind of had a hard time coming off the starting line.
I agree.
Yeah, he didn't bring the RPMs up real quick. He was worried about it bouncing. By the time he poured on the throttle, he kind of broke the tires loose, and about 10 feet back, it cost him. 261.97 is the distance. 1 truck left to go here tonight, fans.
My turn now. So how do you think of the whole truck pull so far?
The truck pull, I think it's going pretty good here tonight overall. I'm having a lot of fun. Are you having some fun, Trent?
Yeah, I love it when I speak through the microphone.
Yeah, you got your own microphone. That's pretty cool. We put him to work. I don't know. It just worked out.
Let me get a picture of you two looking professional here.
Get our mics up.
But you don't need those on. It's nighttime.
I want style. I want style.
All right.
One truck left to go, Trent. I'm having a good time. You think should we ask the crowd let's ask the crowd if they're having a good time, Trent. What do you think, Trent? Do you think the crowd's having a good time? Who's having fun at the truck and tractor pull tonight, fans? Let me hear ya! They're having as much fun as us.
And that's a lot of people.
That's a lot of people here tonight, and it's a great time to be at the Racine County Fair. We thank each and every one of you for being with us on Truck and Tractor Pull Night. It's high-flying bull riding action, and Bulls and Barrels comes here tomorrow night, so stick around here this weekend at the Racine County Fair.
How much do you think this truck is gonna go?
Well, this is a good one right here on the starting line. Cameron Davis in the driver's seat out of Jefferson, Wisconsin. 2010 Chevy. It's called Outrage, sponsored by Jefferson Current Electric. And this truck called Outrage campaigns on the national level with the National Tractor Pullers Association from time to time here, Trent.
Who's ready to watch this truck? Let me hear it. It's finally the most.
They're ready to go. Last one of the night, fans. It's Outrage. Cameron Davis. And Cameron Davis, 271 and 29. He'll finish number 3. Seth Davis will get the win. Cameron Davis, number 2. Fritz Lupke, number 3 in the class. So the 4x4 modified trucks. And I give that one about a 6 out of 10 stars.
Okay, so how much do you think the next truck is gonna go?
Well, Trent, that was the last truck of the night. So you know what that means, Trent? We got to thank everybody for coming here tonight. So you think you can help me do that? What I'll say is I want to hope everybody had fun, and I thank them for coming out here tonight and enjoying the truck and tractor pull. Now it's your turn, Trent. What do you got to say to the fans as they're leaving the grandstands here tonight?
Tell me, who loves the truck pull?
That guy right there loves the truck pull with 2 hands in the air. I tell you what, Trent, well, if you're like me, I could just stand up here and talk all night on this microphone. It's so much fun. We hope you had as much fun as well, and can't wait to join you right back here next year on Truck and Tractor Pull Night. Again, the Bulls and Barrels comes here tomorrow night, Demolition Derby on Sunday in front of the grandstands. Hope you enjoy the rest of your night at the fair. One last thing.
Okay, thanks for coming.
See you next
And,
year.
and see you next year
Perfect.
at the Truck and Tractor Pull.